Welcome back to Technically Edinburgh, the podcast for and about technicians at the University of Edinburgh. Welcome to episode 7 of Technically Edinburgh. Now, we had so much to say during recording of this episode that we've decided to split it into 2 parts. So this is part 1, and part 2 is also available to download now. So please do check that out when you finish this one. And we hope you enjoy both of them. Let's get to it. Hello and welcome to Technically Edinburgh, the podcast for and about technicians at the University of Edinburgh. My name is Charli Corcoran.
And I'm Imogen.
And our guest today is Paul Strachan. Paul is the Deputy Manager and NACWO for the Aquatics facility at the University of Edinburgh. With a background in environmental science and marine conservation, Paul has worked across various UK aquariums, managing displays and overseeing animal care for a wide range of species, from sharks and rays to seahorses and penguins. Since joining the university in 2018, Paul has played a pivotal role in managing the aquatics facility, supporting groundbreaking research involving zebrafish, medaka and axolotls. Known for his expertise in facility management and his dedication to animal welfare, Paul's work ensures a smooth running of the facility while supporting researchers and advancing the university's scientific efforts. And I'm very excited to have Paul on the podcast today because we've known each other for a really long time and we work in very similar fields. So thank you so much for Imogen for coming along to help host and keep us on track.
Hi, nice to meet you, Paul.
Nice to meet you, Imogen. Nice to see you too as well, Charli.
Hello. How are you doing? You okay?
It's another day in the zebrafish facility.
So, Paul, what exactly is a NACWO?
So, a NACWO is a named animal care and welfare officer. So, for every animal facility, there is a NACWO. So, we are the ones who guide our researchers and our users on best practice, best care for our animals, and the best welfare. We're also the first point of call if there's a welfare issue, health concerns, anything like that. So we are on the floor quite a lot, talking to everyone who comes in and out of our facilities.
So you're making sure that the animals in your research facility are looked after and living happy as far as they can lives.
Exactly. So we are trying to provide them with the best life that they can have within our facilities.
So what kind of research is being carried out in your facility?
So we have a range of different research groups. So we have cardiovascular science, we have Centre for Brain Discovery Science, we have inflammation, we have cancer work, and we have lots of different bits and pieces that happen down here. So what we've always said is, if you can think to do it, you can do it with a fish. So if you think of something you can do with a human, you can easily translate that to a zebrafish.
So a fish used quite often in research?
So we're actually now the second most used animal in the UK. So we've only trail mice at the moment. Mice are still number 1, then it becomes fish, then it moves down to rats and so on.
That's surprising that fish are more common than rats. What is it about the physiology of these fish that makes them such useful analogues?
So basically, zebrafish share up to about 70% similar DNA between fish and human. Our zebrafish still have a heart, they have livers, they have kidneys, they have gallbladders, they have intestines. All these organs that humans have, they're in a fish. The benefit we have with using fish is we can have our first population on day 0, have these adult fish by 3 months, and you're breeding again for your second population in 3 months' time. So we have a massive turnover, so we can get our research done within 3 to 6 months. And these fish will have up to 400 eggs at a time if they are a really good breeding female pair. So we can have lots of eggs ready to go through, and we can have research published within 6 months.
I'm so impressed when you were listing the things they have in common that you didn't say lungs. It's always on the tip of my tongue whenever I'm telling people. I'm like, yep, skin. No, don't say lungs. Yeah,
again, comparability between gills and lungs, it is all possible. There have been studies many, many years ago comparing human lungs and fish gills. They both work in the exact same way. They still have that transfer of gas from just you just have a water medium instead of an air medium instead.
It's so cool. I mean, I think fish are cool anyway. So let's gloss over me going on about how cool fish are. Um, so it's not just zebrafish, is it? You've been through several. I mean, biasly fascinating because obviously it's my background as well. Roles before you before you started at the university. What what led you to becoming a technician? What brought you over here?
So, like you, Charlie, I used to work in zoos and public aquariums. I was there for many, many years. I got to a point about 2016, 2017 where I needed a break. I needed a chance to come away from it and find where I wanted to go. At the same time, me and my partner, we moved back up to Scotland because it's probably the best country in the world, and that's something coming from someone from the southwest. And we decided that we would resettle up here, make our lives up here again. At the same time, the job came up. It was fish work, something I had fantastic experience in, and I was very lucky to get the job. So, and it tied into what I was already doing, working with animals, working with fish. And this time, it's not a public setting, it's a research setting. So you've got the complete and utter contrast from working in the public aquarium coming to a research aquarium, which is staggering, the difference. And it's fantastic. It was actually a really steep learning curve, but it was so good. And it was so interesting seeing all this varied work, realizing that fish are actually so important in bioscience at the moment.
Yeah, it's very different, isn't it? You're working in these public aquariums and you've got hundreds of different species of fish, and then when you're coming into the research environment, and maybe 2, 3, we've only got one, but you've obviously got a few more, and the variety is in what can be done with them rather than how many species that you're looking after, and you can really focus down on
exactly
get become an expert in that one or two species.
Yeah, exactly. So you've hit the nail on the head. So you're moving from looking over hundreds and hundreds of different species of animal, coming down to specializing just for this one to produce all this fantastic and groundbreaking science. When I first joined, we had the zebrafish and we had xenopus. So we had fish and frog. So for xenopus, not something I've ever worked with, anything like that. But again, steep learning curve. But once you were learning and doing it, being hands-on, it was just phenomenal.
Can you tell us a bit more then about your kind of role as the deputy manager in NACWO? What's your day-to-day life like?
So it's exceedingly varied. There's some days I could be out on the floor helping the team, assisting with all the technical processes. Some of the bits and pieces that we get involved in, screening fish, breeding fish, maintenance of our major systems, and then the admin side of it as well. So I've been very fortunate. I've done everything out on the floor, and I picked up all the bits and pieces in the office as well. So I'm sort of the go-between is probably the best way to describe it. I look after the technicians who work with me, and I'd have to look after the researchers as well. So everyone comes talking to you, and you're the problem solver. You're trying to fix what the researchers need to do, how they need to do it. Then you have to talk to your technicians and figure out how you can do it, what their concerns are, how you can help them do what they're doing. So it's an exceedingly varied role.
Do you enjoy it being varied?
I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's so funny. We've spoken to so many technicians who are exactly the same. Like, it's so varied, no day is the same, and we love it. It seems like that's what being a technician is kind of about, right? Like
exactly. I could come in one day and it's flowing smoothly. Everything's going really, really well. I could come in the next day and something's happened. We have a piece of life support that's broken down, or if you have a researcher who's got concerns over their experiments, just having that variedness every single day is brilliant. You wouldn't get it in any other place.
No, I agree. It's one of the things I really like about the role as well, is that it's really varied. How about you, Imogen? Is your work, is it all different, or?
It's a lot of programming, but it's very varied what I'm programming. So yeah, there's variation, there's electronics, there's lots of different skills.
And it must have been very similar in a public aquarium. Were there a lot of transferable skills that you found that could come with you to being a technician?
Yeah, I would say so. You in your public aquarium, you're looking after the animals again. You're looking after that range of creatures. It's transferable straight into what we do here, straight off. The life support maintenance and bits and pieces like that, rebuilding a pump, stripping down a UV sterilizing system, fixing the RO systems, anything like that, that's literally transferable straight away. Educating the public and what you do in a zoo, then talking to the researchers to pick up what they do to then transfer to the team. It's all transferable. It's no day is the same, and that's what you have to have. You have to be ready, because if something happens, you have to be ready to run and go with it. Other days, it's just what we need to do today. There's the standard jobs. Off we go. Let's get this all done.
It's working with animals as well, isn't it? I mean, they always come first, so you can't go home at 5:00 if the animals aren't looked after, or if something's broken, or if someone needs something.
Yeah. You can't. You can't turn off. I think that's probably the only con of the job. You're there for the animals. You are there to make sure they have the best life. They have everything that they need. So if something goes wrong at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you're here until it's fixed. You're here until it's sorted. Then you go home, and that's probably the only offset with home life and the balance and all that. People at home don't understand sometimes what we do is looking after these animals to make sure they provide the good science, they have the best quality of life, and sometimes home life has to take a miss at that point. But if you have a good family, a good partner, good backup when you're at home, they understand. They understand this is your job. This is what you have to do. And it's the same in public aquarium as well. You could get called out 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you've got to go, and you've got to fix that problem. You've got to look after those animals, because they are in your charge. They are the ones that are exceedingly important.
I mean, I'm nodding away here. I realize people listening can't see me, but I'm like, yep, yeah. all of that. So would you say that's maybe one of the things you find the most challenging then?
Yeah, work-life balance is exceedingly difficult. Being the deputy, you're on call as well. You're on call 24/7. I've had points where I've been called at 11 o'clock in the evening by users who have found a problem. I've been emailed at 11 o'clock in the morning, 8:45 in the morning. They've come in, something's gone wrong, and you've got to react to it. So, yeah, having that work-life balance is exceedingly difficult.
That's the advantage of the electronics world. All my equipment goes off at 5 and I can go home.
I wouldn't have it any other way, though. I love doing what I do. I love working with animals. I have enjoyed it since I first stepped into the industry. Oh, my word, so many years ago when I first stepped into it. And I knew this is the pathway that I was always going to lead. I didn't know I was going to end up in this side of things, starting off in public side and then end up at this end. You know, you don't know where you're going to end up. You just put the time in, you put the effort in, and you end up where you're going.
You wouldn't know what to do if you went on call with you wouldn't know what to do yourself. You'd just be sat at home like making problems for yourself to deal with.
I would try not to do that, Charlie. I'm going to be honest with you, but yeah, you do worry. You do worry sometimes. So.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I totally relate. At 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up thinking, did I turn that tap back on? Did I turn that tap off? That's the one, like, someone would have noticed if there was a flood, right? Like,
that is a big one.
It does bring a level of, I guess, anxiety to your home life sometimes that you wouldn't get in other jobs.
Probably the biggest thing for us is burnouts as well. So compassion fatigue, that is probably a really big problem with animal technicians at the moment. We care. We do all this work. We are so invested in looking after our animals. We do get burnt out, and that is probably a big problem, not just here in Edinburgh, it's the whole country.
You do see it starting to be acknowledged now with the culture of care days that are coming, the last few years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think the university has realised this as well, and there are some fantastic courses on offer about this. I know BVS have got this culture of care day. We have our care principles as well, which means it's not just the animals we have to look after, it's ourselves and all the team around us. We have mental health first aiders on hand at all times as well. So anyone can come and talk to you about what's worrying them and how you can help them.
Having the worry of caring for however many, live animals, literally like your life, their life in your hands, I'm sure that weighs quite heavily compared to some other roles here.
Very much so. It's not just us. It's not a research side problem. It is in the public side as well. Keepers, aquarists, all curators, all that side of it out in the public facing world as well, they get this as well. So it's not a unique thing, but it's fantastic that Edinburgh has taken a real initiative on this to actually help our technicians and make sure we are well looked after.
The work you and your team do, breeding genetically modified lions, managing aquatic equipment, it's all a big responsibility. What are some of the challenges you face maintaining such a complex research environment?
Oh, that's a really hard question. But the main thing we have to look at is our fish. It's keeping the fish healthy, giving them the best water conditions they can have, the best food we can do. We always update our practices. So we look at what other people are doing. How can we adopt that here? What can we do which is better? And that's what we strive for. We're trying to go as best we can, the best welfare, the best care, the best food, the best water conditions, all of that to ensure not only do we have fantastic fish, our users, our researchers have the fish they need to complete their research. It's a vicious cycle. If we have to have good fish for the researchers to have, so they can do their research, so they can publish more, so they then need more fish. So it just keeps going round and round and round, which is brilliant, because the more papers they release, the more fish they use.
You're talking about updating your protocols and making sure you've got the best food, and that's a lot of changes that you have to then take into account.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in research already. Like, you have to balance the needs of the researchers with the needs of like improving the welfare of the fish. So is that tricky?
It's exceedingly tricky. We may have researchers here who do obesity studies. They have a specific diet. They have a specific way of making fat fish. As stupid as it sounds, they have a specific way of making these fat fish, so that has to be taken into account when we're feeding. Because the thing is, we hand feed all our tanks. And you imagine at the moment, we're using 1,600, 1,700 tanks a day. So someone is going physically around feeding every single one of those tanks. One of our technicians is feeding every single one of our adult tanks. We have a technician who feeds every single one of our juvenile tanks as well. So they're going around making sure that food that goes out is correct for those fish. It's the right amount for those fish. If we overfeed on this obesity study, that could set them back massively. If we underfeed as well, that sets them back. So it's exceedingly challenging. We have to make sure all our life support is in fantastic condition. It needs to be in tip-top condition, or else it's a massive effect on our users, on our researchers and our fish. So it's a fine balancing act. So yes, we will look at our best practice. We will look at what other people are doing. This is fantastic because we talk to everybody. It's not just myself talking to Charli. Charli, what are you doing? Charli then asks me, what are you doing? We'll go to the guys, Sterling, Harriet Watt, down at London, down at Sheffield, down at Manchester. And we'll talk to everyone saying, what are you doing? We're doing this, are you doing that? Why can we combine it and see what works best? And then we test it. If it works, fantastic, we roll it out. If it doesn't work, okay, just try something different. Was it the food? Was it the watering conditions? Is it the tank? It's so many different things that we have to examine to make sure we're giving our fish the best chance.
And it's so interesting as well, isn't it? Because sometimes what works best in one aquarium, for no other reason, will not work in your aquarium.
Oh yeah, again, our water up here in Edinburgh is different to Manchester's. It's different. Again, Manchester's completely different to Sheffield's. Completely different to Plymouth's. It's different to London. It's completely different. So the biggest thing that our researchers have to do is work to the ARRIVE guidelines. So they have to say, this is the conditions that these fish were used in. This is what they were fed. This is the temperature. This is all the water parameters. So other people can then do replication. So it's our job as technicians, aquatics technicians, to make sure all of these variables are pretty much kept wholly and the same for all this research and experimentation.
I don't know if any of the listeners have fish, but they'll know how difficult that is. It's not easy to keep your pH the same through the day, never mind through the weeks and through the months of a project. So
exactly, and this is why we have remote monitoring as well. And this is why all the technicians are on call. This is why we have this backup. So if something does go massively wrong, we can respond so quickly.
So, of the many species you've worked with over the years, which do you feel was the most challenging to work with?
Oh, you see, I've worked with so many different things. It's
pick one.
Pick one. I can't pick one, Charlie. You know this as well from your time back in the aquariums. You look at some of the things that people have kept. I think I love cephalopods. Absolutely love cephalopods.
Same, absolute. Huge fan.
So cuttlefish, squid. I've worked with octopus. Giant Pacific octopus are probably the most fascinating animal I have worked with. They're so intelligent, so big, so strong. There was many a time I've worked in the aquarium in Bristol. We always used to do a proper playtime with our octopus, and they're just so strong. Once they've hooked onto your arm, they are literally putting you into the tank with them if they want to.
So is that arm wrestling an octopus?
Basically, yes. I used to have many a time I've had sucker marks down my arms just from the octopus just grabbing hold and starting to pull you in on full weight. But you look at some of the ones we work with here, we have axolotls, which are so fantastic. They are wonderful animals. You know, they're a fantastic amphibian to work with. They basically regenerate. And watching them if one of their neighbours has decided to nibble a toe, just watching them regrow the toe is brilliant. You know, it's just amazing. We work with some amazing animals sometimes.
So you can tell Paul that you really love your job because Imogen asked the most challenging animal to work with, and you've just dove straight in with your favourites. So like none of it's challenging; they're all the best.
Well, you can't. Again, you can't exclude the sharks as well. That's the thing. Elasmobranchs are brilliant animals as well. Big, beautiful animals. Most people are scared of them, but there's no need to be. Charlie will know this one. Many years when I used to work at Deep Sea World, we bred angel sharks. And if you ever go, there is a fantastic photograph of me, much younger, I would point out, with less grey hair and all that, with an angel shark between my ankles and the Edinburgh Zoo vet with a scope looking at babies inside her. So I will admit I've done some really crazy and amazing things, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
You're talking me into a career in aquatics, actually.
Oh, shout it loudly and proudly. Fish of the future.
That seems like a great place to wrap up part 1. Don't worry though, Paul will be back in part 2 of episode 7, which is also available to download now. Thanks for listening. See you in part 2.
Recognition and visibility are two of the key areas of the Technician Commitment, an initiative led by the UK Institute for Technical Skills and Strategy. It's so important to us that we make sure that technicians behind the research get the recognition and visibility that they deserve. And we hope this podcast is one small step towards that goal. Technically Edinburgh is hosted and edited and produced by members of the University of Edinburgh Technician Steering Committee. Please follow us and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Check us out on X at UOE Technicians, and don't forget to tell your friends and colleagues. Have us on obnoxiously loud in your lab so everyone can hear. Oh, and if you have any ideas for topics, would like to come along and chat with us, or even think you might like to have a go at hosting, please get in touch at technician.network@ed.ac.uk. Thanks again to our amazing guest, our brilliant co-hosts, and you for listening. See you next time.